bit cool as well. We actually did see temps stay in the 60s for highs, so a little bit below average. But the big story tonight is going to be the wind. We have a lake wind advisory in effect, so a live look over Clarks Hill Lake. And then we also have a freeze warning in effect for some CSRA counties. So it is going to be cold tonight too for us. But let's get into it. So clear skies at the moment. We got pretty breezy conditions, so the wind is going to stay elevated over the next several hours. Not really expecting the wind to lighten up until we get to tomorrow morning. So currently speaking, we have a sustained wind of 20 miles an hour at Bushfield, and many spots are seeing just as gusty of a evening on tap. So just a heads up, if you're heading out, give those high profile vehicles lots of rooms on the road. And if you're heading up to the lake, remember, lake wind advisory in effect tonight. Weather alerts though, this is a freeze warning highlighted in purple, which does include Clarks Hill. Goes all the way down to I-20 for many of our western counties like McDuffie, Columbia, Warren, Hancock, Washington, Jefferson. You can see for us here in Richmond, Aiken, and a lot of our southern and eastern counties, we are not underneath a freeze warning. We're still going to get close, but we're just not really anticipating a huge freeze threat for those counties not included in the warning. So here's a look at our morning lows tomorrow. So the warnings pretty much follow where that temperature line is expected to fall, of temps getting down to 32 or less. Here in Augusta, I would imagine Bushfield, it's one of those cold spots. It gets cold very easily, likely could hit freezing, but I wouldn't be surprised if many spots do stay a degree or two above freezing. But it's only going to be one night we have to worry about this. Heading into Wednesday, it's still going to be chilly, but I don't think we'll have to worry about any frost or freeze concerns. And then later into the week, those lows will be staying in the 40s and 50s, which is thankfully no need to concern about a frost or freeze, but still a little bit below average for this time of year. But this time of year is usually when we see our last freeze. So this isn't too unusual for us to see these cold temps as we close out the month of March. So you can see for us right here in the CSRA, we're right on kind of the edge of tail end of March and beginning of April. So not expecting necessarily a huge freeze concern from tonight. Looks like we will stay away from the 20s. So we have to get down to 26 degrees for there to be a concern for our peach crop. Does not look like we're going to see temperatures that cold. So we got thumbs up for that. But the wind chill could be a factor, even though the wind may calm down some tomorrow morning. Still going to be around 5-8 miles an hour, so just enough to make it feel that much colder. So you will need to bundle up the first part of your Tuesday. And here's a look at our wind speeds for tonight. So still 15 to 20 miles an hour. That should stick around at least through close to midnight. Once we get into the overnight, wind will calm down some, but then it will be picking up the next few afternoons. So Tuesday afternoon, sustained winds 10 to 15, and we'll likely see a similar breezy afternoon on Wednesday. So with the wind around and our dry conditions, that is going to keep our pollen count just sky high all the way through Thursday most likely. Now there's going to be a better opportunity for rain as we close out the week. So Friday into Saturday, next low moving out of the Gulf will bring us widespread rain. Luckily, not a severe weather setup for us, so good news in that department. But the rain late into the week should help bring down our pollen count across the area. Here's going to be our setup late into the week. So high pressure is going to be north of us, and then low pressure is going to be moving out of the Gulf. So this is going to bring us kind of a northeast easterly wind, which this setup usually brings us cooler than average temps. We are expecting that Friday, along with pretty high rain chances. This type of setup is just very conducive for us to see good steady rainfall. So this is kind of looking like a washout Friday, at least Friday afternoon through Friday night, and even potentially Saturday morning. Not ruling out we do have some early rain Saturday, but this system will be moving up the coastline as we get into our Saturday afternoon, back to sunshine by the time we get to Sunday. So the rain totals do look to maybe be around a ½ inch to up to an inch for us here in the CSRA. The higher rain totals will be closer to the Carolina coastline and just offshore. That's where those higher rain totals of several inches most likely will be found. But for us here, I would say range, good range, ½ inch to up to an inch. Obviously, there could be places that see a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but I would imagine a lot of us kind of fall into that range late into the week. So for the next 7 days, we are staying near or even below average. We don't necessarily have any super warm temps, definitely nothing like what we saw last week heading our way. So cooling things off a little bit. Tomorrow is the official start of spring with the spring equinox, the spring equinox heading our way, starting at 11:06 tomorrow night. So it's going to officially be spring tomorrow night at 11 o'clock, but I'd call it the first day, official day of spring. It's going to feel cold though, but overall, next 7 days, not too bad. Pretty normal for late March and early April. Hopefully you have a great night. Remember, it is windy out there, so just be safe if you're going to be on the roads. But we'll have another update coming up on News 12 at 11 o'clock.